Hi, I'm Ben Quiggle, editor of Woodall's Campground Magazine, and this is another edition of Supplier Showcase. And I am with Quentin Incao. Did I pronounce that right?
There you go. Incao, absolutely.
Yeah, there we go. The CEO of Q Hospitality Management. And Quentin, it's great to see you again. I think we've
Thank you.
met before. You've been to the glamping show, correct?
100%. The glamping show from year two to most current, the Ojai show every
Yeah.
year, and looking forward to attending that one as well. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of. I always get asked all the time. There's a ton of shows for people to go to. I think
hmm
the glamping show is probably one of my favorite ones to go to, and the Ojai OHC is really fun. There's just a ton of shows right now too that you could split your time among, I guess.
There are for sure, but if you're in the outdoor hospitality space, I feel like um, the Ojai, formerly Arvik, put on, RV focused show
Yeah,
every year is really the best one, at least from my perspective. And for outdoor hospitality glamping side, I really feel like the glamping show, which is in, probably year 5 or 6 by now, is incredible. It's just grown. There's amazing things to see there. So those are two
yeah,
at the top of my list that really cover a lot.
yeah. Well, I guess how did you get started in this industry?
Good question.
I talk with a lot of people. They buy a park and then they expand from there. Is that what happened to you, or did you do something else to get in the industry? I guess.
No, I didn't buy a park, though, maybe that will happen. But I started on the independent luxury hotel side of the industry. Honestly, I spent 30 years in independent luxury hotels,
Okay.
smaller, typically under 150 room, boutique hotels, operating them, running them, whether food and beverage operations, that type of thing, all around the country from Pebble Beach to Santa Barbara, Seattle, New York City type of thing. And then in 2012, based out of Seattle, I started Q Hospitality Management. And the purpose was to start a company that consulted to and provided operational support, eventually third party management, consulting, that type of thing, to the independent hotel industry that I'd been in for so long. Fast forward a couple years of opening some amazing independent hotels around the country. Post COVID or pre COVID, if you will, we got into outdoor hospitality
Yeah.
by asset managing a beautiful RV and glamping property on the Oregon coast called in Coos Bay, called Bay Point Landing. And that sparked our interest to get into outdoor hospitality and look further into it and see how we could bring everything we had done in the independent hotel side of the industry to outdoor hospitality. Post COVID, we jumped into outdoor hospitality, and now it's 90% of our focus, providing consulting, operational support, and third party management to upscale or elevated RV properties, RV resorts, RV parks, and to glamping destinations as well. One of which
Yeah.
you just saw on the home screen is Two Capes Lookout. Just opened on the Oregon coast, our first one under the Caraventure brand,
Yeah.
located right there. Landed in Travel and Leisure, which is wonderful. It's a small property with mirror cabins and geodesic domes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And you guys partner with a variety of different places in the industry, correct? I think you had mentioned before we jumped
Correct.
on here that you mentioned with like Camp Strategy, I believe, and maybe some others.
Yeah. So down at the bottom of the team page or on the home page, if you pop to that, we do partner with Camp Strategy, and originally that relationship started with Greg Emmert, who we work closely with, and then if you pop over to the homepage, you'll see Greg Emmert's new company. He has parted ways from Camp Strategy and is now with Vireo, which is his own company. So Vireo is our main RV park consulting partner. They kind of bring the strength of the RV consulting, Greg being a former owner and operator. We bring the strength of glamping and technology and hotel and food and beverage and what have you. And together we make a great pair and can bring great services to our RV park clients, whether in a consulting scenario, like Greg and I are working on a tribal RV park out on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington together, or third party management, which is done directly through Caraventure, which you see launched there, and Q Hospitality.
Yeah, let's go here. We can stop that one. We'll go over to Caraventure. So Caraventure, just give us a little bit about what you guys are doing with the Caraventure stuff,
Yeah.
I guess.
Absolutely. So Caraventure, which was created out of a blend of caravanning and adventure, and the caravanning for the RV side of the
Hmm.
business and the adventure for the glamping side of the business, kind of put that together, created Caraventure. You'll see in the logo with the lantern there, the glow of the lantern really is and the light rays that come out represent the ability to have Wi-Fi on site, and that we're a place where you can either connect or disconnect, regardless of what you would like to do. And the purpose of Caraventure was really to consolidate our focus on outdoor hospitality management. We're focused on elevated, higher end glamping destinations, upscale RV resorts and parks that really have a sincere focus on attention to detail, attention to service, quality camp stores, so on and so forth. And that's the type of property where we're really a best fit. These are the services we offer, as you're seeing here. And
Yeah.
so we're putting that side of our business, the management side, under the Caraventure brand in order to tell the world, hey, we're in outdoor hospitality. We bring a unique perspective, which I think many third party management companies in this space don't necessarily come from the hotel side of things. But we bring that hotel sensibility and that style of management to outdoor hospitality, which I think is perfect for larger, higher end, multi revenue, bigger properties and resorts. And so that's, I think, where we hope to stand out as we work on breaking into the RV side of the industry.
When you say like, yeah, so I mean the hotel industry and then the outdoor hospitality industry. I've been in the outdoor hospitality industry for a long time, and they always kind of,
Right.
when you go to conferences, you kind of hear people say, "Oh, well, they're two separate things." I guess. What are some of the similarities that you bring over, or some of the things that you think match up really well from your experience with the hotel industry to what you're doing with
Yeah.
through like this third party management
Outdoor
service, I guess.
hospitality. Yeah, it's a really good question because I mean, if you think about it, at the end of the day, um, it's exactly the same. We are
Hmm.
focused on attention to detail, both in hotels and outdoor hospitality. We're focused on customer service. We're focused on the experience that we're creating for the guests. We're focused on using their name. We're focused on creating memories. So really, to me, hotels or glamping hotels or higher end upscale RV experiences or destinations, it's exactly the same thing. We're focused on a memorable experience. It just happens to be outdoors. With the RV, you
Hmm.
drive in. With the glamping, you have an individual unit. And so it's exactly the same thing to me. It just comes down to the lodging is alternative, and maybe it's more experiential because it's not a hotel room, within the four walls of a typical hotel. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's the same high level focus on creating a great experience, in my opinion, and for us at Caraventure.
Yeah, I guess what I guess coming over from hotels and motels and things like that. I guess what are some of
Mm-hmm.
the things that you did have to learn as you were putting together
Uh,
Q Hospitality Management and now this Caraventure you know product? I
Good.
guess.
Yeah, I mean, setting up Q Hospitality was really just a sideways slide from being in the hotel industry. I had operated and worked in hotels and
Hmm.
restaurants for 30 plus years. So now doing it on my own under Q Hospitality was essentially the same thing, only I was my own boss, and I could pick the projects, and we could work all over the country type of thing. But as we morphed more into the outdoor hospitality side, specifically the RV side, because glamping is very similar to or closer to hotels than obviously
Mhm.
the RV space is, um, there were, I'd say, nuances to the guest experience that an RVer expected versus what a hotelier or a glamping person expected, paying two, three, $400 a night versus $75 a night. There was the demographic difference. There was understanding, the sizes of the RVs and the pull in and the back in and the pull through and all of that. So understanding, that kind of setup and what experience to provide for, again, somebody coming in either a $1 million A class at $125 a night versus a B class at $75 a night, whatever it might be. It was learning those nuances and those differences, and how what we did in the hotel side or glamping side of the industry could translate to the RV side of the industry. And sometimes it had to be taken down a level because they didn't need as much, fussing as folks spending three, four, five, $600 a night on glamping or hotels. So
Yeah.
that was a learning curve for sure. And I've learned a lot by partnering with Greg. He is an unbelievable mind when it comes to the RV space. So that's also been very educational.
Oh yeah, Greg Emmert's a great guy. His family was in the industry for a long time,
Yep,
and
for
very
sure.
smart. He likes to watch birds too. So
Yeah, well, you'll notice the logo of his new company, Vireo, as in Cheerio, is a bird, and he's a birdaholic for sure, and he's brought that into his new company logo, which is super cool. He's just a great, decent, honest guy.
well, I guess as we get to the end of this thing, what's one of the things that as you talk with people in the industry, what's one of the challenges that you guys notice that most people face, and that you're able to help them out with? I guess
Interesting.
is there one challenge, or do you? There's probably a bunch of
No,
challenges.
yeah, I mean, uh, if we were to call it down to one challenge, it's running the property, doing the day to day, dealing with the
Yeah.
hiring and the firing, dealing with the revenue management, the dynamic pricing. How do you use a PMS? How do I maximize it? You know, what do I use to get XYZ done? It's just figuring all of that out in this very fast paced, very competitive environment that the more elevated RV space is growing into. And so I
Mhm.
think that's the biggest thing we get when somebody calls. I don't want to run it anymore. I can't run it anymore. Or we're an investment group and we're buying it. Please help us, operate the property. We don't want to run it. So really it's operations at the end of the day, and everything that's covered between hire and fire, if you will. That's often the ask. Can you please take this off my hands and help me run it more efficiently and effectively, because it is what you do. I've been making it up as the owner, but this is what you do. Please help us operate it. And that's where we love to jump in and find super unique properties and try to grow their top line and gross revenue, try to control their expenses, give them a better bottom line, and allow them to step back and enjoy the day to day while we run their property.
Well, how do people learn more about? Well, you kind of have two different companies or two different
Sure.
segments, I guess. How do people learn more about Q Hospitality Management?
Absolutely. So Q Hospitality for the consulting side, for the RV space or the glamping space, they can go to qhospitalitymanagement.com. That's the letter Q and then hospitalitymanagement.com. If they would like to consider third party management for their upscale RV resort or park, they can certainly visit Caraventure. That website is gocaraventure.com. You can get to either of them from the other website. They're all connected, but we would love to hear from folks. There's even a form on Caraventure that allows somebody to submit their park. They can click on that form, fill in all of the details if they're looking for third party management, and we will get back to them, promise, within one business day to let them know we've received their information and what we may be able to do.
Well, that's awesome. So, well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on. I'm sure I'll be seeing you at shows later this year, and I mean, I always look forward to seeing people at shows in person after a long summer. So,
Absolutely. Sounds great. Thank you so much, Ben. Really
uh,
appreciate it.
all right, well, thank you, and
You got
thanks
it.
everyone for watching, and we'll be back again next time.